For more on U.S. immigration, I'm joined now by Rafael Bernal. He's a staff writer with the Latino section of the Hill newspaper, which covers U.S. politics. He's also a former practicing lawyer. Really kind of an extraordinary story. I mean, Dan really kind of showing us all the different elements. Let's unpack some of this. He mentions it takes literally 3 minutes for this family to scale that wall, get on the other side. But the journey to get there for so many of these people, it's much longer than that and much more difficult. And in some respects, you look at them going over the wall, that's tough, but at least it's the end of the line, right?
Yeah, that's crossing the finish line really for a lot of people. And you mentioned the journey being so long. That tells you about how much people are willing to invest personally, emotionally, financially, physically even, to get out of the situations that they're in. And the wall, a lot of people have always argued that this idea of a wall, while practical in some spaces, in very urbanized areas where Border Patrol needs to see immediately, who's where and who's who, a little bit. But the wall, it seems like a terribly small deterrent for somebody who's willing to hike 1,000 miles through very dangerous territory.
And when you get to it, I mean, when you get to these root causes, poverty, violence, hopelessness, that's not a race with a wall, is it?
Well, no, certainly not. And it's certainly not erased by taking away aid from these countries. And that has been a very harsh criticism of the White House, that it's almost as if they're doing whatever's in their power to increment the root causes while criticizing so you criticize the symptom, but you don't attack the disease. And it's true that many of these Central American countries have not been very good managers of either aid money or their own tax money or any of their resources, really. But that also has a lot to do with the way Central America was historically structured. And the United States, frankly, plays a big role in that process.
Let's talk about the wall, because it was a major tenet for Donald Trump in the midterm congressional elections. He thought it was a winner. It was not. But you see the seeds already being planted that he's going to use it in the presidential race. Will it be effective for him?
There's no doubt that it's his core issue, the wall and immigration. The wall for him isn't really, it doesn't seem to be about the actual physical barrier. The wall is a calling card for whoever believes that immigration in general decreases quality of life in the United States. And the Trump bet has been from the get-go that there are enough people in enough key states who believe that, who will vote for him because of that issue. After 2018, it seems that he's going to have a harder time convincing a majority of the population because he's expanded the voting population, both those on his side and those who are either scared of him, angry at him, or just plain disagree. So you as voter participation grows, it's hard to see. A state like Arizona will probably tell us a lot about whether that increased participation helps him or hurts him.
One final question before you run out of here. Efren said, it's not going to have an impact, that you can buy ladders, you can get ropes, you can dig tunnels. Do you think the wall will be a deterrent or can be a deterrent?
I think it's no. The deterrent effect of what some would call cruel policies or deterrent policies has proven to be null. The only effective deterrent has shown, and Mexico is the best case study of this, that a growing local economy is a very energetic deterrent because people tend to want to stay where they're from despite their lives not being perfect.
Rafael Bernal, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.